Welcome to your weekly forecast. This is for the week of the 26th of August to the 1st of September. My name is Nikki. I'm a spiritual life coach. I'm an intuitive artist, and I am a tarot reader. And we're going to dive into the cards for you this week so you can be prepared for all the things coming your way, but also making sure that you're navigating it with a lot more ease, grace, and magic than usual. All right, so this week, already in the pre-shuffle, there's a lot of energy coming around passion, and not just passion for a person or passion for a particular project that you're working on. This is large scale passion. This is the passion that drives you in life. It is the North Star that is guiding you, and it's your passion to not only improve your life, but like make a genuine impact on the world. And whether that's just the immediate world around you, or if you have bigger scope goals, maybe it's international, maybe it's global, this is the conversation we're having today. And on that note, I don't want you to get scared of this conversation around passion, because just because you might have a beautiful gift and a lot of passion and love to give to the world, it doesn't mean it needs to happen tomorrow. This is about the micro steps that you can take every single day starting this week, so that when you look back at the end of your life, whenever that may be, you can say, I took the steps, I made the effort, I did my best, and my ripple effect was because of my actions, my intentions, and my passion. So this isn't a conversation around judgment of how far you've come and how far you have to go. It is an invitation to get connected to your passion. So let's start talking about it. First thing I need to do though, pop on my glasses so I can actually read. All right, so we're going to look at the current energies, some divine directives, and then opening up to passion is the specific spread we're going to be using today. Now, if you enjoy the spread, make sure to let me know. You can also purchase through the directions below my tarot for every day and everyone little work booklet. There is 12 different spreads in there, and it's just a way for you to take the weight off your shoulders on, what cards do I pull, how many. It gives you themes, it gives you directions, and it even gives you a little space for self-reflection if you'd like to use it as an actual workbook. So details below. All right, in the pre-shuffle, I was using the Work Your Light Oracle as well as the Runic Tarot. And the first message is here, we've got the ever unfolding rose, cracked open. It's happening for you, not to you. I really got the sense in the pre-shuffle that you're this week, the current energy, so you're probably already in this energy and you might have been in it for a while, is you're feeling a little bit hard done by. And it doesn't matter how positive you are generally as a person, you're kind of reaching that tipping point of like, I don't know if I can stay positive. I don't know if I can stay glass half full. I am, getting tired of always questioning, is this the right way? Is this the right path? Can I keep doing it? So if you're in that current energy, if you're feeling that kind of, cracked open in an attack way rather than cracked open in a growth way, like a seed splitting its shell, then this is definitely your reading. Stay tuned. The second card that came through is the Age of Light. You've been training for this for lifetimes, but it's in the reverse. Now, I don't always read reversals with oracle cards, but this one was very adamant that it is in reverse. So when I see this card, especially after it's happening for you, not to you, it's like really doubling down on that you're questioning, am I on the right path? Am I doing the right thing? There is a lot of insecurity and uncertainty in these current energies. And that is just an invitation for you to look a little bit deeper at how you're feeling right now. Maybe you're unmotivated. Maybe you're taking action, but it's still a little bit going through the motions. Perhaps you're planning and you're getting stuff done, but it's not that innovative, inventive, inspired kind of energy and action that is possible for you, and also so much more fun to actually be in. Now, the third card that came out with this is birthing a new age, birthing new creations, dreaming a new world into being. This is your reminder that this is a birthing process, that this is a creation process, that, whilst it might be a little bit difficult and turbulent at this stage, and whilst it might be making you question, Do I have what it takes? Can I go the distance? Or can I start again if you sort of realize you've been a little bit off path and heading in, not the most convenient direction? This card is coming out to say, you know, at this moment, in this time, even when you're questioning, this is part of the creation process. Sometimes we need to go a little bit further along a path to gain the skills or to get the resources or have the perspective to go, okay, now I have what it takes to go back a little bit and turn. Now, that's not, going back in life. You're not taking step back. I don't believe you ever really lose any ground, let's say, on the path of life, but sometimes it can feel that way. So this is very much a conversation about perspectives, as it always is like, how are you viewing this situation? So these current energies, it's like, while on the surface level, the conscious level, you're questioning, if you were genuinely to go beneath that, like having a conversation with your guides, with your higher self, with your heart, with your soul, or even, you get all that chatter out of the way and you go deeper into your why and your purpose and yes, your passion, you're going to discover actually things aren't as bad as they seem. This is just a stage of maybe growth or realization or refinement on what's been going on in your life. So I also pulled 3 cards from the Runic Tarot to go deeper into these energies to provide a little bit more detail on that current energy. So let's have a look at those as well. Make sure throughout this reading also, by the way, wherever you're, finding it, whether it's video on YouTube or the audio on Spotify, is reach out, comment, connect with me. Let me know what's come up and through, because I believe awareness is stage 1. Then we move into action. Then we move into alignment. And then we make sure it's really embedded in your life. So I would highly encourage, if this is landing, if it is resonating, if something pings for you, don't let it just pass through. Take a hold of it, work with it, and then go and do something about it. So we've got the 4 of Swords, the Knight of Pentacles, and the Devil in reverse this time. Now, these cards to me are offering this deeper perspective on what do we do about this current energy, because A, it's not a nice place to be in, and it's one thing to consciously know we're just having a bit of a pessimistic perspective, and another one to go, what do we do about it? So this is providing a little bit more insight into that second layer of understanding of what's happening right now. So the 4 of Swords is like that reminder of, we need to not just shift our perspective, but really disconnect our perspective from those thought patterns and those thought habits that are telling us this is a problem, we are stuck, we can't do this, we can't move forward. Those are not just the objective truths, they're definitely not. They are persistent, pessimistic perspectives that are holding you back from the next leg of your journey. So I would highly encourage you to really think about the greater impact on those types of thoughts in your life. And sometimes that's what it takes. And I've seen this in my coaching clients, like that is what it takes to really disconnect from an old pattern or habit that is not serving you, is not just to say, oh, that's not an ideal thought, or that is a pretty shitty belief, but to actually go deeper and look at, like, I'm imagining like a garden and there's a plant and it's not doing so well. And you look beneath the ground and there's like rot, or there is, something impacting the actual health and vitality of this plant. You can't just plant something else there, pull out that dying plant and put a new one in. We need to remove the soil that is infected. We need to actually, do something about what's going on beneath the surface. So to me, this card is going, really think about those thoughts and beliefs. Don't just highlight them, but go, how is this impacting me? What is this insidious ripple effect of me attaching to and claiming that type of thought? It could be as simple as, if you're telling yourself you're not good enough, you're like, well, the ripple effect of that is I no longer try for things I want. If I, fail the first time, I'm not going to try a second time. If someone tells me something negative about myself, I just accept it and believe it and then act on it. So start to see the ripple effects of this behavior. When you can really see the impact, it gives you, more of that kick in the butt to like get it out, to dig up that soil, to remove that rot, to, cut out that infection so it's no longer impacting you. And it's easier to pull out the belief when you're actually pulling out, all the stuff that's been impacted by it. The next card, the Knight of Pentacles, it's again that reminder that you are on path, but also you're on a journey. You're not meant to be done yet. It's not like you get to the top of the hill and then you never have to keep hiking. You keep going. There is more distance. There is more ups and downs. There's more, blood, sweat, and tears sometimes. So just a reminder that this is all part of the path. The Devil in reverse, this is the devil within. So you can imagine this is like the devil on the shoulder trying to, again, persistent, pessimistic perspective. I don't know if I can keep saying that, but it's that little, voice, it's that little trigger. And this is just a reminder that that is coming from within. That is built on the quality of your beliefs and thoughts, which have been, gathered over time. You don't go out and choose the shittiest thoughts that you can find. They've come from somewhere, they've grown, they've been nurtured, they've been, left like weeds in your garden to run riot. So it's just that reminder once more that this is coming from within. The outside world, whether it feels like it or not, is not confirming to you and is not showing you that all is shit. Alrighty, now we're going to look at some divine directives. And what do I mean by that is these are just messages coming through from guides, from angels, from anyone who wants to say something positive to the people listening. And we're just going to see what comes up and through. Sometimes these might be very, very complimentary, and other times they're more like cherry on tops or additionals or like a side dish to a meal. So let's just see what they have to say today. Okay. Quite a few wanted to come out. All right. Leap, you go first, the universe will catch you. There's something on your mind, there's something in your energy, there's an opportunity coming in this week, and it is in your best interest to listen to the alignment and not listen to the little devil on your shoulder or the judgment or the fear or the whatever. It is trust, take the leap, and then see what comes next. Always, always, always do what is right for you, do what feels good to you. And, don't put yourself in a position where you're pretty sure you're going to get hurt or anything like that. That's not what this card is saying. This card is like that invitation of when you have that feeling of like, I really want to do this thing. And logically, there's no reason for me not to, beyond my fear, beyond my worry, beyond my, oh my God, what might people think of me? So when it's just those, let's see if I can say it again, persistent, pessimistic perspectives, when it is just those that are chattering away in your ear and stopping you from taking the leap, take the leap. Who do you choose to listen to? Is it that? Or is it your heart? Is it your soul? Is it your guides? Is it the universe? Is it your passion? Our next, well, this one sort of leads on to that one, but it might be for someone else. Trust the niggle. What is the niggling feeling trying to tell you? Trust that niggle. Even when everything around you, again, it's a conversation of internal versus external. When the external is dark, is cloudy, is gray, is not so great, but you feel in your soul like this little spark, this little light, this little, oh my gosh, yes, I want that. That's what you trust. Trust the niggle. Priestess, how are you being called to step up and lead? This is coming through in this moment as how are you being called to step up and lead yourself? How are you being called to look after yourself? How are you being called to, make those what may seem in the moment hard decisions, but are meant for you, are right for you, will serve you in the long run. A leader is not someone who is besties with the people that they're leading. They might be loved, they might be friendly, they might be compassionate, they might be caring, they might be friends, but it is not about that. It is about how do I lead whoever I am leading to the best of my ability to navigate the situation ahead with the most ease and grace possible and to get to where we desire to go. That is how you need to show up for yourself. Anna, grandmother of Jesus, seeding the light, laying foundations, divine plan. Your invitation this week is to look around you, see what seeds have been planted, and see where you want to focus on nurturing and growing. Again, it can be yourself internally, and it might be things externally to you as well. So having that mothering, having that nurturing, having that compassionate energy with you this week, and also having a bit of trust that if you're called to do something, it's all part of the plan. Finally, we have Council of Light, divine orchestration, helpers in the subtle realms. Again, once we stop listening to that little devil on our shoulder chatter and we start opening up to those nudges, those niggles, those whispers, that more, positive perspective on what feels good to us and what we want to do, then the people around us on the physical and the people around us on the non-physical, or spirits or whatever guides can help us. If we're doggedly going in a dark direction that is not in alignment and it's, refocusing the rot in the ground and it's all these things that aren't meant for us, that's not where we can have the most impact. It's not where the guides can really, help you and direct you. If anything, they're just constantly going, turn around, turn around, turn around, turn around, turn around, turn around. Whereas if you're on your right path and you're leaning into your niggles and you're listening to your intuition and you're following your heart and your passion, they can give more nuanced directive. They can, go in this direction. What about this? Send you more signs and signals, etc. But if you're just continuing to head in that wrong direction, all they're going to tell you is get back on path, get back on path, get back on path. Some interesting divine directives there. All right, now we're going to step into using the spread. It's called Opening Up to Passion. Now, this spread is very useful when you want to bring your attention towards something that you are passionate about. And you can use this whether you have a focus, like I'm passionate about art, I'm passionate about business, I'm passionate about hiking and things like that. But sometimes I feel blocked, I feel stuck, I feel stagnant, and I don't know why I'm not doing it. I could use this spread. Or you might be going, I'm feeling a little bit floaty or in a rut, which is last week. So, go watch that one as well. And you can use the spread to invite in new passion, as in, where should I focus next? So we're going to do that today. And I'm actually going to use the runic tarot because when I was pre-shuffling, the Four of Wands came out. And to me, this is just such a passionate card. And I was like, yeah, this is the deck for this spread. So there's 4 placements for this spread. How can I invite more passion into my life? More detail on this area, a way to get started, and a way to keep going. So that's how we're going to play through this. And if we need any clarifying cards, I will use the just traditional Rider-Waite tarot. All right. So for this spread, we're focusing obviously on the collective and the people listening to this. I always know and trust that the people who find this, and especially the people who find this and they're still in the video to this point, these messages are for you. Sometimes they make complete sense here in this moment, and other times they need a little bit of time to land and linger. So stay open, stay curious, and let's see what happens. So, how can you invite more passion into your life? Ooh, interesting. I'll pull a card for each of them first. We're going to go more detail. Oh, beautiful. It provided us the cards. More detail, a way to get started, and a way to keep going. And I love that those 3 came face down because they're like, hey, you haven't even explained the first card yet. On the bottom of the deck, we have the 7 of Cups, this very beautiful card. Underlying energies and messages here around this is about community, this is about nurturing, and also there's a little baby in the center of this. It's again really focusing on that birthing a new age kind of energy from our initial reading and our initial energies is like, it takes a village to raise a child. It takes a village. It takes, multiple people and different resources and times and actions and all this stuff to raise your passion, to open up to it and to grow it. So just a bit of a reminder that you are not alone. You don't have to do this alone. And really for it to be as thriving as you desire it to be, whatever this turns out to be, it's not just you. So stay open, stay curious. So how can I invite more passion into my life? So we've got the Page of Cups in reverse. So the Page of Cups, she's holding out this cup. When we turn it the right way up, she's got this, quite turbulent background behind her. It's very elemental. It's very tempestuous. Um, and she's sort of holding up in hope of like catching some of the rain or catching, something in this cup. I see it as when it's in the upright position is something it's very hopeful, but it's also, interestingly enough, she doesn't quite know how to get what she wants. Like she's purely operating on trust, purely operating on faith, going, hey, I'm showing up and doing my part. And I need to trust that, the clouds, the rain, the universe, the environment is going to provide me with what I'm asking for, even if I don't quite know what it is, and even if I don't quite know how it's going to get to me. The fact that this is in reverse in this placement of how can I invite more passion into my life is you've got it the wrong way around. You think you need to bring everything to the table. You think you need to have everything in place before you get started, and only a tiny, 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 tiny piece of faith of like, oh yeah, maybe there'll be a synchronicity, or maybe there'll be, a little bit of a silver lining. But I'm just seeing very much like your relationship with the ratio of faith to, let's say, control or influence or force is a little bit out of whack. So the fact that the Page of Cups is right at the start going, you're trying to manipulate and control this way too much. So if you're currently thinking about something like an actual passion area in your life, business, health, love, something else, career, whatever it may be, and it's almost like the weight of the success is wholly on your shoulders. This is an invitation to open up to a way of what would feel better for me if I was acting more in faith, if I was acting more in trust, if I was acting from a place of I I am doing all I can do. And remember, we need to be leading ourselves. So if that's not true, do what it takes to do your best to lead yourself. And then start just showing up at your capacity with full trust, faith, and alignment, and then genuinely be open, curious, and ready for other things to come in to support you, to reach out to other people as well. This is not you alone. This is not you alone. So that's really the perspective shift here, is like getting off the track of I need to do this all myself. It's on me. I can't leave it up to anyone else. I can't reach out for help. Like all of that inner chatter BS, we need to chuck it out. This page deserves to be upright, acting in faith, acting in flow. All right, so more detail on this area, please. Ooh, we've got the Six of Wands. This is a person leading themselves. So even just like very simply looking at the difference between these two cards, like the Page of Cups, it's kind of like cold and isolated and alone. Now this one, I mean, it's a little bit warlike. It is a Viking deck, but the sun's out. There is other people like around them. They're being supported. They're being seen. They're not in this alone. They've really come to the other side of, yeah, I am leading. I am doing stuff. I am taking action. I am, actually out there going for it on path. Like this person is on path. This person is just at the top of a mountain. But I'm not alone. And there's something really interesting about not being not just not being alone, but knowing that you don't have to do it alone. That is the crux. That is the really significant part. And I'm getting called more and more and more back to this initial card that was on the bottom of the deck of like, who do you need to surround yourself with to feel really connected to this passion? And that doesn't have to be like, you don't need to suddenly hire a team or anything like that, though that might be one piece of the puzzle for you, depending on what you're working on. But it's, say it's in your career and it's like, when was the last time I sent out an email asking for help? When did I talk to my line manager? When do I talk to my colleague? What about the person that sits next to me? Do I actually have um maybe it's just about, at lunchtime, chatting to the people around you and feeling more part of a team, a community, feeling supported, seen, heard, all that sort of stuff. So opening up to who do I need support from? Where do I need support from? And that could be the very physical, tangible people. It might be the greater community. You go for walks, you have chats with people, you go to the park. Maybe it's about getting together with friends, family. And maybe it's the spiritual team. Maybe it's the guides. Maybe it's the meditation. Maybe it's spirit animals. Like really, really opening up to where do I need support from? A way to get started. We've got the Two of Pentacles. Just get started with one of those. Sometimes we put so much pressure on ourselves, especially when it's something around our passion. There's so much content out there about following your passion, following your purpose, being on path, having this epic goal that you're heading towards and you're not compromising on and you're going to make your dent in the universe, blah, blah, blah. That's a lot of weight to put on the shoulders of someone who's coming out of heading in the wrong direction or coming out of not believing in themselves or coming out of thinking that they're not able to do what they want to do. So let's take the weight off of having everything in place and just start with one person. Who is one person you can turn to? And I would really recommend on this card is make that person be someone that you trust and that you can really communicate with. The reason I say that is this might be a little bit clunky at the start of your journey, but also you want to have a good experience and some, let's say quick wins in this area of reaching out and getting support. Don't reach out and get support from that person in your family that, loves you unconditionally, but kind of triggers the F out of you. That's not your first go-to person. So think about the person who's going to be there, who's going to make this simple and easy for you to reach out and get help. And maybe that is a spirit guide for you, or maybe it's your partner, or maybe it's that person at work that you haven't really chatted to in a while, but they're going to say yes and that how helpful they are. So think about who's that one person and make a meeting or a time or whatever. And a way to keep going, because it's all well and good to say, take a baby step, get started, but how do we keep going? How do we keep that momentum? Interesting. We've got the One of Pentacles. Is this the Ace? So weird when there's like different decks and they all do different things. So yeah, I believe this is the Ace. How do we keep going is we come back to ourselves. Opening up to your passion is about opening up to yourself, but also keeping your fire burning. So this is like such a great reminder of like, there might be a million people to support you and a million different ways you can get going. And once you start heading in the right direction and getting that support and, following your passion and listening to the niggles and trusting in the universe and birthing this thing into creation, you know, you also need time for rest. Pausing is part of the path as well. So make sure you're looking after yourself. Make sure you're looking after your own energy, your own mind. You're keeping your fire lit. There is nothing to prove in this space of your passion. Even if you want to impact the world on the global scale, if you want to be the next Oprah, the next Tony Robbins, the next Richard Branson, these are just the people immediately coming into mind, having that massive global international renown, impact. It's not, it's not happening overnight, but also it's not about the scope of your goal of how much you need to sacrifice of yourself as well. Like you are the most important part of all of this. And you just being on the path to your passion and interacting with your passion and being open to your passion is the point, not the end goal, not how big it's going to be, not how successful it can be, none of that. So making sure that you're looking after you along the way, because we don't want to get back to that place when all the pressure's on your shoulders and it feels like you're alone again and you give up or get stuck or start heading in the wrong direction again because it is too much. So looking after yourself. This means pause, this means rest, this means connection. This means checking in with yourself as well, because your passion and that fire within you will only stay lit if you allow, oxygen in, if you allow fuel in, if you allow the time for it to, if you've ever been with a campfire, sometimes it's roaring and sometimes it gets, smaller and then you need to feed it more and you can build it back up or you can, bank it. Like there's all these different, it's not just a bonfire the whole time. So making sure that you're keeping your fire lit, you're looking after yourself, you're doing what it takes, and remembering that actually, even if you're doing something epic, you here, now, in the present moment, just being in alignment, listening to yourself and your soul and following your passion, that actually is the point. Not what comes next, not what's come before, but you in the present, just being in your passion. Alrighty, so that is the reading for the week of the 26th of August to the 1st of September. I love that this ends on the 1st of September, like this reading, because it's something really empowering about stepping into a new month, being tapped into your passion, being open to your passion, and being really honoring and owning that this is important. You don't have to do it alone. And I think one of the major messages that actually came out was that, stepping up to lead yourself. If I could come back to any of these, and I can, so I will, it's this priestess card. How are you being called to step up and lead yourself? Be your own leader this week. And sometimes the leader needs to say, stop and have a break. And sometimes the leader needs to say, get off your butt and go and do that thing. Take that leap of faith. Ask for help. Collaborate. Contribute. It's not about control. It's about doing whatever it takes for you to get where you want to go, happy, healthy, and, in alignment. Thank you for joining me. This has been wonderful. Just a few little things. I do these every single week, so make sure you stay subscribed, tuned in, and you check in. Also, you can follow me on Instagram or Facebook. There's a lot more content around there, not just these videos, as well as making sure to check below if you want to download the tarot booklet. I have created these spreads. Obviously, I am using these spreads, and I find they're really good starting points for conversation with self, soul, and source. So I highly encourage you to check those out and to download it if it's calling to you. If you'd like to come join my free Facebook group, Tarot Tea and Transformation, twice a month I go live, one for an extended coaching call, so you can come in and get some spiritual life coaching, and also a tarot and tea call, where I actually do a group tarot reading, and if you're there live, you get personal questions answered. So I would hope to see you there. Link to join is below, and I will see you next time.